Today I'm in Costa Mesa, California, test riding this, the Caofen F80. Big shout out to my friends over at Sierra Electric Motorcycles out here in Costa Mesa. They gave me the privilege to come down here today and give this bike a full test ride. I met the guys at Sierra at Electrify Expo last month, and they had this bike here. A bike I had never seen or heard of before. Now at a first glance, this just looks like another Sur-Ron knockoff intended to endanger the youth of America more than TikTok. And the Caofen, like many Sur-Ron competitors, claim to beat the Sur-Ron in every measurable aspect.
I talk better, I walk better, my shoes fit me better.
But the thing that made the Sur-Ron Lightbeast so great wasn't the numbers, it was its fun factor. The Lightbeast captured the purity of riding in a very user-friendly, light, affordable package. Caofen claims to do the same, except better, obviously. When I first saw this bike, I thought to myself, this looks like a Sur-Ron that can bench press. And bench press it can, because this thing comes with a factory 72-volt 30-amp-hour battery. It also comes with a patented forced induction cooling system. Another interesting thing about the battery is that, unlike other batteries that will not charge underneath a certain temperature, this thing will charge up to minus 40 degrees. So if you are watching this and happen to be an ice road trucker, this is something you want to keep with you. The bike produces a peak of roughly 8,000 watts, which will ultimately take you to a top speed of around 54 miles an hour. We'll check that out when I get on the road here. Also, the suspension is not mountain bike suspension. In fact, it is DOT approved moped suspension. Now that is something you can brag about at the bar at 2 o'clock in the morning. I do really like the overall aesthetics of this bike. It's not trying too hard. It's futuristic and modern, but the guy that rides this, I don't think his YouTube feed is just filled with Elon Musk videos. There are a couple different versions of this. You're going to have an off-road, a dual sport, and a street sport model. This is the street sport, although it doesn't have the newer body kit that the updated street sport version will come with. So it looks great, and it's made out of quality stuff. And it f***ing should, because this thing has a sticker price of $6,500. Now that does put it $1,500 more expensive than, say, the Talaria Sting or the Sur-Ron Lightbeast. It puts it closer to bikes like the Rivet Anthem or the Land Moto District, bikes which are also very high quality and have incredible suspension, batteries, and brakes. But anyway, let's get to riding here. So what the Caofen comes with, instead of a traditional key, you get a key fob. There you go, look at that, isn't that fancy? Alright, so I just dropped by the shop real quick to put these mirrors on so I can see if my GoPro is recording. Also because, I'm concerned for my safety. So then, my first impression of this bike when I got on it was, in one word, smooth. This throttle is smooth, the suspension is smooth, the tires, smooth. This thing is just slick, as you should come to expect from a bike that does cost as much as it does. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but this bike weighs about 180 pounds, so it's not the lightest bike in this market, but considering the size of its battery and the quality of its suspension, it's just what you should come to expect, really. The sensation of torque on this bike isn't overly aggressive. It doesn't just shove you out the door like a nightclub bouncer. It's smooth and user-friendly and predictable, and I'm at another red light. If I started a channel where I just talked about e-bikes while sitting at red lights, I'd be very successful. Now you might say, why aren't I comparing this to a bike like the Sur-Ron Ultra Beat? Its voltage is pretty similar. Well, that is because, this is still, I would still consider this a moto mountain bike, despite the fact that it, doesn't have mountain bike suspension. It's basically the same, and it's basically aiming for the same market. Oh, it's trying to take me onto the freeway. Oh, we're not doing that. Oh, we are not doing that. Another great thing about this bike is that it is going to be fully road legal. At some point or another, bikes like this are going to be completely banned. Like, if you get caught with one of these and they're not registered, you're going to jail. Now, I do want to take this bike off the main road a little bit, because ultimately this isn't designed for big streets like that. It can handle them. It's comfortably sitting at 54 miles an hour. It is a little noisy, but it's a lot more comfortable at speeds than the Sur-Ron Lightbeast, my Sur-Ron Lightbeast. When you ride the Sur-Ron at its top speed, it sounds like you shouldn't be treating the bike like that. Like you're really hurting it. This comfortably sits at speeds, and goddamn, these brakes are great too. These brakes are amazing, actually. Caofen F80, 10 out of 10. Nice attention to detail on the brakes. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this bike has a couple different models. You have an off-road, a dual sport, and a street sport. The guys at Sierra are absolutely pumped to show me the off-road version. I have a bit of footage of it right here. Yes, this is how it looks factory. It looks like an incredibly capable, incredibly fun off-road bike, so that is coming very soon. What about wheelies? I'm not that great at wheelies, so I will just... oh, a little hard to pick up. Let's see. Okay, I did that a bit better. Oh, I want my phone to fall out. Oh, the handlebars. Oh, the handlebars are a little bit loose. That is not Sierra's fault. They are obviously masterful engineers. Thankfully, I am an intelligent rider and bring an Allen key set everywhere I go. That's the wrong size. Not a big deal. Glad I found that out now. It's kind of a shame I'm surrounded by big, long, suburban straight roads. It'd be nice to get this thing in the twisties because it feels like it can handle well. Overall, this bike feels like a more sophisticated Sur-Ron Lightbeat. It does have its own uniquenesses, it does have its own kind of personality, but overall, if you got off a Sur-Ron and hopped on this, it would feel pretty familiar. It is, I would say, more comfortable on the road than the Lightbeat. Like, I could ride around on this for hours, right up to 0% battery, and be perfectly happy.
Here is a more professional and conclusive summary on how I would describe this bike after a short ride. The F80's quality and capability as a street commuter came as a big surprise, especially from a relatively unknown and unproven manufacturer. Its 72-volt battery, smooth refined throttle response, and suspension make it a comfortable, nimble, and highly enjoyable bike to throw around. And with the right sprocket and right skill level, you can easily turn this thing into a hooligan bike. Considering what it costs to upgrade a Sur-Ron to a similar spec as this, the $6,500 price tag doesn't seem so unreasonable. Sure, you can squeeze more performance out of a modded Sur-Ron, but then you have to deal with the shaky reliability of owning a modified bike. Overall, I'm genuinely impressed with the Caofen F80, but don't just take my word for it. Head down to Sierra Motorcycles in Costa Mesa and try one out for yourself, and let them know that Hammy sent you. But don't leave just yet, stick around for the rest of the video as I have plenty of fun footage I know you'll enjoy.
Anyway, as I am a smug hipster on my smug electric bike, I am going to go to a nice smug coffee shop. Have a latte with oat milk and extra smug. Alright, you guys get the point. I'll shut up now. Sorry if this isn't the most interesting test ride, guys. I find myself stuck at nothing but red lights. Once I get this thing back to my place in Redlands, then we'll really have a full-on, in-depth, lots of fun review. Alright, so here I am at Phil's Coffee. So this is how it works. Got your little key fobs right here. You clip it in to the brake line. Lock it. There you go. Hey kiddo. That kid's like, Daddy, that guy looks like a failed YouTuber. Oh, I do not belong here. It's a cool little spot. Got all the employees and Polaroids. See, I never worked at a place like this. I always did jobs with like men who hated their lives. Okay, then just wrapped up here at Phil's Coffee. I was by far the least wealthiest person in there. There's all like these young college girls that have like bright futures, and then there's me making bad YouTube content. Cushy, cushy, yes, very good cushy suspension. No, 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 no. Son of a bitch. You let me down. You let me down. You cost $100 and you did a $3 job. There it is. What an utter complete disappointment. Are you scratched up? Oh, you're a little scratched up. Now I don't trust you. You're like a girl that cheated on me, huh? You want me to come back to you? I'll come back to you. You're all I have right now, really. Wow, shout out to Spiggin rolls off the tongue. $100 fucking. What a goddamn disappointment. It is amazing to think that if I did lose this right now, I would have no idea how to get back to the dealership to drop this bike off. I would have no idea who to call to help me out because I don't know any phone numbers. I would have been screwed. But I would have had a GoPro to capture all the footage and make all of you laugh at my pain. Look at that guy. But after all, that is what the internet is all about. Don't do that again. Oh, I think it just went into like battery saving mode. I'm at 20%. I should have enough to get me back the final 2 miles. Let's hope I don't have any more of my famous Hammy moto bad luck or good luck. I'm the luckiest unlucky person sometimes. So now I'm at 19%. There is definitely a battery saving throttle response, but I am still able to do 54 miles an hour. Oh, 14%. It's going. I'm still on full throttle, 41 mile an hour. It's blinking. Almost there, man. 0.5 of a mile. This right here is the frightening reality of e-bikes. If you don't plan ahead, if you don't see, 25% and start heading home, you might end up on the side of the street like I might about to be. You got this little Caofen. I believe in you. Your heart is strong. Your battery is just lying to me. It's just joking. It actually has 25% left. Oh, yeah, no. This has no power at all right now. Full throttle, that's all I got. I gotta get over. Oh, I made the wrong turn. God damn it. This is stressful. This is very stressful. I'm stressed. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna go this way. 13%, you got it. Yep. It's about to go. Good thing I turned around when I did. I made it. 12%. Little Caofen.